Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do today is something a little bit different than we've done before. And I'm still going to go off with the review that we did yesterday, but the change is going to be that I kind of liked it having the video because it was easier, it seems, for you guys to concentrate. So I'm going to do this, but today I'm going to break the video up. Instead of having one longer one, have three smaller ones that we're able to work with a little bit easier. So at the end of the class period, give me a minute or two if you have, and let me know what you think of the new format. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back over the review that we had yesterday. So again, this is a review, okay, and we're looking at last Friday's stuff. So with this review, let's change the numbers up just a little bit though. So let's go ahead and we'll say we have 4 to the third power. So looking at that, we have the three forms that we want to go through again, and the first one is already up there, so I'm going to label these fairly quickly. So this is the exponential form. Okay, so that's this part. And we're going to jump into the factor form, so let's go ahead and do that factor form real quick. So 4 to the third power is simply 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, and let's underline that one in yellow. Okay, and that one, we're getting used to this now, okay, is the factor form. And the last part of that, so 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 giving us 64. Okay, so and then that last part, let's label that real quick before I forget. So this last part right here is your standard form. Okay, and the two things I'm not going to label are the parts of the base. We've done this a little bit now, so you should be real familiar. But the large 4 is your base, and then the small number up here is your exponent or power. Okay, so that's the review part of it. So let's go on to the part where we're going to add some new knowledge to this. Okay, so I'm just going to label it, and we're going to call this new knowledge. Okay, and what we're talking about is the negative base. Okay, so these are from your notes from yesterday. Negative base exponents. Okay, so that's what we're working with, and I'll actually go ahead and put up a different example this time. Working with smaller numbers is sometimes easier when you're learning just a format about how things go and what to expect, so we won't bother using anything big today. So again, we're working with -2, and then we'll start off to the second power. Okay, and I'm going to work my way through using the exponential form, which is I've just written down, the factor form, and then the standard form, because it's important to be able to actually write that stuff out. I know that a lot of times you guys like to go through shortcuts, but in this case, if you go through a shortcut, it actually makes it more complicated when you're trying to figure out the actual solution. So let's go ahead, and we said that this is different because it looks like this, so we have parentheses around them between multiplying. Okay, oh, we put too many in there too. I was kind of still thinking of yesterday's lesson, so I put one too many in there. Okay, so to the second power is just -2 times -2, and again, you have your -2 right here, -2 right here, multiply them together, and you're going to get 4, and in this case it's a positive 4, because remember the rule, one negative, let me get my hand back here, one negative and one negative equals a positive. So that's what we're looking at with that one. So again, let's do the next one, because again I want to show you the importance of these patterns. So negative 2, but this time let's go to the third power. And so let's go a little bit quicker even this time. So negative 2 times a negative 2. And now I can go ahead and write in that third one. So negative 2. Okay. So let me switch back to the hand so you can see it a little bit better. So now we have negative 2 times a negative 2, which gives us a positive 4. And then a positive times a negative 2, so positive 4 times a negative 2, and I'll go back to the pencil here, is going to give us 8. But in this case, the positive negative makes this a negative answer. And we'll do another one. Okay, and negative 2, and we'll go to the fourth power, and what you're going to get, negative 2 times a negative 2 times negative 2, and get one more in there to make 4. Okay, so that's our factor form for this last one up here. So now again, as we're looking at it, we have negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. A positive 4 times negative 2 is a negative 8, and a negative 8 times a negative 2, and go back to my pencil, is a positive 16. Okay, so we've done it kind of the long way of multiplying it step by step to figure out the positive and negatives. So again, and you're seeing a lot of the same things that we saw before as far as when we go up by power, so from negative 2 to the second, to the third, and then to the fourth, the answer is being doubled. So times 2 to get that, and times 2. So again, a lot of patterns. So as we work through here, right here, we kind of indicated yesterday that when you look at the exponent, okay, if the exponent, and remember, this is only valid if you're looking at a negative base. So we're using negative 2 as our base right now. But when we do that, we've got, if you look at the exponent, that's going to tell you if the answer is going to be positive or negative. So we did it the long way, just going and multiplying each one and then figuring out if the answer is positive or negative. But you can also just look at the exponent when there's a negative base. So 2 is even, so the answer is positive. Okay, 3 is negative, or sorry, odd, and so the answer is negative. And 4 is even, and the answer is positive again. So that's the deal. They kind of alternate too. That's another pattern that you're going to see up there. So you wrote it down yesterday, and we'll put it in green. So go back to my pen here. So the rules when you're working with these negative bases is that if you look at the power, if the power is even, then the answer is going to be, yep, positive. Okay, and then the same thing, if that power is odd, then your answer is going to be negative. Okay, so I'm going to end the first lesson right there, and we're going to work with that a little bit, and then we're going to come back to the second part of it.